Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another vidIQ live stream. I'm Dan, and it is Wednesday, and it is time to discuss some YouTube-related topics. We're going to be taking some of your questions, and I'm betting you're here because you would like to know how you can grow your channels by specifically focusing in on your community here on YouTube. And we're going to be going over all the different tools that YouTube gives you to do just that, but we're going to be going into detail, giving you some tips, giving you some tricks. It's going to be a lot of fun. And you're probably thinking, yeah, cool. Let's get to it. Why is the bearded circus creature still talking? And first of all, rude. Second of all, this is our Wednesday live stream. We come at you every single week and bring you a variety of topics. So we ask that you hang out with us and join us. As you're watching today, be sure you're writing down your questions because you're probably going to be thinking of a lot. And Q&A starts closer to the second half of the live stream. So first we begin with fun topic conversation. And every week we are joined by a vidIQ co-host. And today is Viper. How's it going?
What's up, people? This your boy Viper, the man about tech, executive producer here at the vidIQs. How y'all doing? What is going on? We are here and we are live, and we're gonna have some fun today. So I'm glad that you all are here.
Yes, and thank you for being here. Thanks for joining us. We got to give a big shout out to the Law Nerds because they all popped in here as Emily's stream is wrapping up, and that is because Emily's joining us.
There she is.
Hey, everybody. Good to see you.
Good to see you. I'm sorry I didn't have your intro music queued up today.
That's perfectly all right.
Are you sure?
We don't need to do that. Okay. It's all right. The Law Nerds don't want that.
Gotcha. Okay. All right.
They're going to be like, yes, we do. Yes, we do. Maybe later in the chat. I see all the purple hearts. We just finished talking about a little bit of Britney Spears. For those of you that are like, what are you talking about? I'm Emily D. Baker. I'm everyone's favorite legal commentator. I am also a vidIQ creator. I have used vidIQ since I started my channel 6 years ago. And we are really at the year mark of my channel going crazy. So it's a really fun time to get to look back at what happened over the last year. And last October on Halloween, I remember looking at my YouTube studio on my phone and celebrating hitting 5,000 subscribers. And today we are just at almost 165,000 subscribers a year later. And it's just been an incredible journey. For everybody who sees all the hearts in the chat, those are the Law Nerds, my community. I love y'all, but my community is the best community on the internet, and I will fight you.
That must put us somewhere on the list, like second, maybe.
Yes, I enjoy. Look, I enjoy my creator communities, but when it comes to a YouTube community, the Law Nerds are just absolutely incredible. And so we had to chat Brittany today. There's a bunch of new court filings, and I needed to freak out about it, and so we all just got on live and freaked out together before we came here.
So for the folks here who may not know what you do in your channel, that's a good kind of, summary basically of kind of what they can expect. Can you go into just a little more detail?
Absolutely. I mean, I do pop culture legal commentary. I've been an attorney for over 15 years. I'm a former deputy district attorney. So I did criminal prosecution in the county of Los Angeles for over 10 years. That was my career job. When I shifted into working for myself and wanting a little bit more of freedom of life and choice, I leaned into entrepreneurship. And during the COVID, or I shouldn't say that on y'all's channel. You're demonetized already. It doesn't matter. During the panorama early on, I shut down my consulting business and wasn't sure when I would open it back up because online business owners were struggling. I was helping people get PPP loans for free and making sure that I was helping the entrepreneurs I worked with stay afloat. And I really had time to focus back on content creation, which I love. My podcast was going at that time. My YouTube channel was still kind of a hot mess because it was really a hodgepodge of different things. And a friend was like, just take the podcast, do it on YouTube. And I was like, okay. And then so much kept happening. I couldn't get it all into a podcast episode. And then we started doing live streams, talking about it and bringing up the documents on stream, explaining what they mean, talking about the parts that are shady, talking about the typos of it all. Look, there's nothing like seeing typos from people that are making like $800 an hour to normalize your life. You're just like, look, if they can't figure out syntax and context, why am I expected to? And really leaned into the pop culture stuff. One, because I love it, but two, because I feel like we can learn a lot about laws through the personalities that we already follow and are invested in without the vitriol of covering the legal stuff in the political sphere. There's plenty of dude legal commentators on YouTube who like doing that. I have watched Housewives for years, and now I get to take that deep knowledge and bring it to y'all. I can't tell you baseball stats, but I can tell you what Tamara said in the Real Housewives reunion season 5. Like, I'm there.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today for our Wednesday live stream.
Happy to be here.
If you are listening and you're thinking, wow, I would love a whole bunch of people to follow me around on the internet spamming purple hearts wherever I go, that's exactly what we're going to talk about today. But first things first, I want to let you guys know that vidIQ isn't just a YouTube channel, but it is. We also have a whole suite of tools that you can download. We have a link down below for a free trial of vidIQ. You can get vidIQ Boost if you're a new customer for 30 days. Get our full suite of tools. One of my favorites here I'm going to pull up right now is the channel audit tool. We do channel audits on Tuesdays. That's where we all kind of sit as a panel and discuss people's channels, what they can do to improve. But we actually have a tool that will help you do this for yourself. So some of the things to look out for are views per hour, showing us the videos right now that are getting the most views per hour. One of them being one I did at the beginning of this year. I'll probably be updating that because it's been on this list. Anytime I check this, it's been on this list the entire year. So one of our top viewed videos throughout the entire year. So we will be doing that again. It happened last year as well with my Gaming 2020 video. So this is really good information to have, all summed up in very easily digestible columns here. So this is just one of many tools that you can get through vidIQ. So please go ahead and check out the link below when you have some time. Download you.
Hold on, Dan. Hold on, Dan. You did not just put that screen down and forget something very important that's going on, Dan. Put the screen back up, sir.
You must be talking about this number right here.
That number, Dan. How can you just gloss over the number? We are closing in rapidly on
So
1
close.
million subscribers on our YouTube channel. This is major, people. This is major.
It is.
Listen, I'm here to burst your bubble, okay? That number is fine and exciting, et cetera, et cetera. This is the number that we need to be looking at, okay? This is what I'm obsessed with. Returning viewers. But yes, no, it is very exciting. We are about to hit 1 million subscribers. Be on the lookout. We will be doing something for that around the time it happens. But we're all very worried about that because we don't know exactly when it's going to happen. So we can't really say too much just yet. But be on the lookout.
Can't predict.
Can't do it. It can't be done. Although we are doing math.
It's so funny to me because my returning viewer number is always higher than my actual subscriber number. I'm like,
really
y'all, you're coming back. Just hit the subscribe. But no, it's always higher. It's so funny.
I need that button behind you to change to gold imminently, and people need to subscribe for that to happen.
Yes, I do too. I think we are, well, we're plugging along. I love like little fluffy bits of affirmation, which is one of the greatest things about having a community, is because there are days when they're like, Emily, today your skin looks great. And I'm like, thank you. I deeply needed that in my soul. But I love my Apple Watch because I love like the little rings that are like, good job, girl. But YouTube only does like the 100K and then the million. And it's way too long between without recognition, which is one of my favorite things about vidIQ, is that the recognition comes in my email inbox and it's like, hey, you just hit this many subscribers. You hit this much watch hour. I love the achievements. It's my favorite part because YouTube just doesn't give me enough like gold stars and I need them in my life. So I actually get vidIQ gold stars.
Rob likes to print these out and hang them. I think he just has a room dedicated. It's his old calendar room, actually. He took down all the calendars that were on the walls and decorated them with these achievements.
I love that. I really do. I love the achievements. Wait, it said you're approximately 5 days away from 1 million subs. Did you see that?
Oh, yeah, it does. I think it's wrong.
That's wrong.
You think it's faster?
I think it's
faster too.
Only because as we get closer, people hype. It's not currently taking that into account. But
yes,
on this trajectory, it is predicting that November 8th will be the day. So
it'll be before that.
I do too. I do too, because we're pretty good. And now you're here. You brought the law nerds, and they're listening to this thinking they haven't given me any value at all. But I am thinking about subscribing because boy, this is charming. But maybe we should get into today's discussion.
Absolutely.
And let's go back, because you did give us a good segue, and I totally ruined it with a vidIQ promo. But let's talk about this gaggle of people who followed you from your live stream.
The law nerds.
Mm-hmm.
We should talk about the law nerds.
Yes,
I love the law nerds.
You've named them.
Pardon?
You've named them.
They named them. I did not name them. Look, it's like any group. You love to have a name. I am a diehard fangirl of a lot of things, and a lot of it I will tell on myself in my background. If you look, you will see Pokemon, you will see my TARDIS, you will see there's a little mini Hogwarts hiding back there, my Scales of Justice, there's a little Zelda sword back there. There are a lot of things that I am a fan of. And with like Doctor Who fandom, they're the Whovians. With the Dave Matthews fandom, because I am a 90s bitch and I love the Dave Matthews Band, they generally refer to themselves as the Dave heads. But I wanted my channel to feel like that too, that when I go live, and I love going live, I wanted my community to feel like a place I wanted to hang out, where I wanted to be. I didn't want to fight with my chat. I didn't want my chat to feel like Thunderdome. There are some creators that enjoy that banter with their chat. That's not how I wanted my channel to feel. And I made that very clear when I started doing live streams. Hey, this is how we do things here. We're supportive of each other. We have conversations about the facts. We don't all have to agree, but we have to be respectful. And I talked about this at Vid Summit as well. It's kind of like setting the expectations for a classroom for any of you who have kids. Like your kids in elementary school, if their teacher does this, they all just shut up immediately and they look at their teacher and they know what to do. That doesn't happen at my house because I never set that expectation. I never said these are the rules here. But when I started building the community on my channel, I did say, these are the rules here. This is how we engage as a chat. And if that doesn't work for you, that's fine. You don't have to chat. And if you don't like the way I run my channel, you don't have to be here. I want community more than I want subscribers. And having a healthy community is more important to me than having more subscribers, because it makes it so much fun when you go live. And it's brought a ton of opportunity. My community crosses over with others, and I see it in my analytics when it shows me what other channels my community is watching. Those are channels I'm watching too. And those creators have seen in their chat, my community saying, oh my God, you need to talk to Emily. And other creators have invited me onto their channels because they're like, look, your community told me that I needed to talk to you. So here we are. Because your community will help support you with everything that you want to do and the positivity you want to bring to the internet. My moderators are a huge part of that. We have a very big working document of how we moderate our chat and what my values are. Look, if somebody's trying to troll our chat, just bounce them. I don't need another view. I mean, I think we had 5,000 people on our stream this morning, and I set that stream last night. It's not my normal stream day. We have enough people. My community comes first, and part of that is being a authentic creator. My community, if they follow me on Twitter or if they follow me on Instagram or here on YouTube, and whatever channel I'm on YouTube is going to see consistency from me. It's not that I'm one person on YouTube and then wilding out on Twitter fighting with people. The standards that I set for myself, for me to be, happy living my creator life, is the way I carry it across the internet. I don't fight with people that are in their feelings. I don't fight with people on Twitter. If someone has a genuine question or a disagreement with me, I will engage in a conversation. But if somebody wants to come onto my channel and be like, I hate your face, I'm like, thanks, great, bye. Like I'm not going to fight with you and pop off, because that's not what I do and that's not what our chat does. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
So
it takes intention.
Absolutely. So you said that community is more important than subscribers, and I agree. And we've talked about this before, Emily. So this is not the first time we've had this.
Can you make us all equal, Dan? It makes me all twitchy. You're making me itchy.
Do you want?
Stop it! I mean, I could make it about me, but this isn't. It's about community.
So my question, Emily, is how do you go about protecting your community? Because one of the most important aspects of having a community is that people want to be a part of your community because they feel protected in some way, shape, or form. And I know we talked before about things that you do and measures that you take to make sure that your community is protected. So can you talk to us a little bit about how you go about doing that?
Absolutely. I mean, it starts with me as the creator and setting my values and then holding to them. And that doesn't mean there aren't times. One of the things is I don't fight with people that are in their feelings. I am happy to have a discussion. I spent a lot of times in a courtroom. I left that. I'm not just fighting over bullshit on the internet. I set an intention years ago, and it's why I'm not on Facebook very much, because Facebook people want to fight. I don't want to fight on the internet, and I can choose not to engage in that. And I set that expectation for my chat as well. And I'm able to discern a disagreement versus a fight, which means I don't get into the negative comments on my channel either. I want to spend my time engaging with my community and the people who leave positive comments or ask questions. If I'm fighting with every negative comment, I don't have time. And I really hate seeing creators that have thousands and thousands of comments on Instagram and they're just responding to the negative ones going, well, that's not true. And I'm like this. Stop fighting with the people who already have some kind of opinion about you and lean into the people who want to be there. I don't like that. It's like giving attention for negative behavior. So it starts with the creator knowing themselves. And then it starts with setting the expectation in your community and setting that with your moderators, saying, this is what we do. This is not what we do. And this is what we support in the comments. And this is what we don't. And I empower them. Look, if somebody's popping off, just block them. We don't need them here. And that goes to, I'm more worried about my my community than I am about subscribers. And if people come for my mods, they're literally dead to me. So it also took, and I know I have a number of mods in the chat here, it also took finding mods that agreed with the way that I engage and agreed with, hey, we also don't want to be popping off at people on Twitter. Because if I say, this is how we behave here, and then I have mods that are wilding out on creators on Twitter, then it's a disconnect with me and my community. So I found people and looked for people who lived the same values, because I don't care who wants to fight with somebody on Twitter. I have friends that do that all the time. That's just not what I want. And your mods are a reflection of you, and your chats are a reflection of you. And I hope that I can keep that as we grow from, 6,000 live stream viewers to 60,000 live stream viewers. And if we can't, then we'll go to subscribers only, then we'll go to members only. And we will protect the community at all costs, because it's more important to me than view numbers, than sub numbers, and then anything else. Because my community is what makes it fun for me as a creator. And they do a lot of the work too. My community is like, have you seen this story? Did you see this going down? I did a poll yesterday about doing an extra stream today. And with the weather changing, my voice has been a little hoarse. And I gave a vote, like, do you guys want to do an extra stream? The comments were, only if you're up to it, only if you feel like it. Like, we'd love an extra stream, but you take care of you first. That's a positive community, knowing that even if I don't jump on a topic first, my community might have watched 3 other videos about these new Britney filings, but they still showed up and wanted to hear what I had to say. So I don't have to burn myself out as a creator to feel like I've got to be first, because my community is waiting not just for me to talk about it, but they're waiting to be with each other in the chat too. And that's something that's really special. When I premiere a video, I get to be in the chat with them too. And I love it. So premieres and live streams are so good for creating community, because you get to know people and you see them celebrating each other's lives, kids, health milestones, supporting each other through chemo and surgeries, and family members passing from COVID. The amount of support I've seen in my chat is the kind of internet I want to be on. And that's why it's so important to me.
Hey, Emily, what is our number one rule for doing premieres?
What do you mean, what's our no? You have to be in the premiere as a creator.
Hey, yeah. Repeat that for the people in the back, please.
Do people not be in their own premieres?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Look, if you premiere a video, it means you get to have a video that you've pre-recorded with a live chat. Why would you want a live chat of your community if you're not in there chatting with them? Your premiere is your best time to answer your community's questions in real time and engage with them one-to-one. That's the point of a premiere. Not to mention, you can get super chats. You can have people join your membership, and that engagement in your chat boosts your video faster. My videos right now, I'm looking at my top 10 last uploads. The top 3 I premiered, and I had taken a break from doing premieres because I was busy. The top 3 are all videos I premiered. Hands down, when I premiere a video, it will outperform everything else that I do.
when do you think, just a general creator, no matter what the vertical, like when do you think someone should utilize premieres?
Always.
Always. So if you're available basically and you're going to post a video, you should do it as a premiere is your advice.
I don't see a reason not to do it as a premiere. People want those early numbers anyway, unless you're a creator that's posting 4 videos a day. I don't see that, or you're like Phil DeFranco and the video is going to perform anyway because you have that many millions of subscribers. But to grow a channel, I don't see any reason not to premiere a video, to share it on Twitter, to bring, 3 people in, 4 people in. You get to know your viewer. Having a one-on-one conversation with a viewer of your content in real time while they're viewing your content is the information you need. YouTube is not about going out and finding who wants to watch your video. YouTube is about looking at that one viewer and saying, hey, one viewer, what do you want to watch next? The more of those viewers you get to know, the more you can decide what content you're bringing them. It's the greatest market research in the world. And once you build a community, it's just fucking fun. It feels like like we're all old. We can say that. It feels like AOL chat rooms. And when I left for college, I had a very close group of girlfriends from high school. We all went to colleges in different states. I would never do this now, but I did it then. We left an AOL chat room of our friend group chat open all the time. And so we would pop in when people are around. I started chatting with strangers on the internet in high school on CompuServe. I didn't realize how much it cost to dial up long distance, and got in a ton of trouble with my parents for running up like $1,000 phone bill because I didn't know. But I've loved the internet and loved chatting with people on the internet for as long as it was accessible to me. So being in your chat in a premiere feels like that for me. It feels like that, like, oh my God, what about this? How are you doing? And we premiered something the other day and news was breaking and we're talking about the premiere and the news that was coming down. It was so much fun.
So my next question then, because we've seen a lot of channels, obviously, especially like I said early on Tuesdays, we do our channel audits. We've seen so many channels set up a premiere, but they set it up, I would argue, in a very ridiculous time frame. Like sometimes it'll be a week away. Sometimes you'll see premieres on channels, but they've posted videos after the premiere hasn't even, you know what I mean? So you're looking at their timeline and you got a video that says premiere and then videos that have come out since then. And you're like, why? What are you doing? So what amount of time do you think is optimal for a premiere? Like how much time should pass before that video actually goes live?
Soon. I mean, instant premieres can work depending on your community, and you can just do an instant premiere if you have a community that has their bell on, and if it's a longer video. If it's a shorter video, an instant premiere, they might not get notified by the time your premiere's over. Don't premiere a 2-minute video. Like your video has to have some substance so people have time to come in and join the chat. I try to set them with at least an hour heads up. Sometimes I don't even get that much time, but I would say no more than 12 to 24 hours because people will see it and then forget. Maybe it's just me because I'm so ADHD. I need to know like, oh, is this going on soon? Oh, okay, I'm available. Great. I'll just hang out and then I'll watch it premiere. So, I don't understand setting stuff to premiere a week ago or a week away, unless you're doing something that, I mean, there's always it depends. If you have a massive community waiting for something, I'm noticing Jaclyn Hill do this now. She's leading her last video into her next video going, this is coming out this time next week, because she's doing a series. But if you're not doing something like that, just generally let people know when you're premiering a video, give them enough time to get in there, but don't give them so much time they've forgotten that you told them.
Really, really good advice, because I think here's the thing, like YouTube gave us this feature forever ago. I've used it maybe twice in my life, throughout all the different channels I've had. I just don't understand it personally, and YouTube doesn't really give us, in my opinion, like a lot of tools to understand it. It's just like, here's a thing you can do. It's a live stream, but it's not a live stream because it's something you pre-recorded, and there's a chat. You're like, cool, I guess, and you're selling it really hard to me right now. I'm thinking, I really want to try this with my next video. I want to see the difference. Do you feel like, you just said like your top 3 videos were ones that were premiered? You you are crediting premieres with that success, it sounds like.
Yes, absolutely am. And I think it's that early engagement, because you're not going to get as many comments on a video and as much engagement on a video as you're going to get with a live chat. Especially if you're chatting back with people, you're going to have so much more interaction than somebody just liking a video or leaving a comment. And I think that interaction tells the algorithm, hey, people are really enjoying this video. Look at the interaction it's getting, and then pushing it out there. The thing I love that they've also done is in premieres, when you set it, you can customize the countdown timer. So there are different types of music and videos. I just discovered that a few weeks ago. Different kinds of content or videos that you can lead in. You can put a trailer on your premiere if you're doing something that's highly edited and you want to get your community hyped. You can throw it into another live stream, which is something I used a lot to build my channel. I would premiere a pre-recorded video because I wanted to make sure I got to all the points I was talking about and didn't distract myself and tangent. I wanted it to be a cohesive video. Especially if I was going to put it on the audio only podcast. And then I would set up a live Q&A after my premiere and take everybody from the premiere and just go live and chat with my community in real time. And I did that a ton as my channel was growing. So there is so much you can do in Premiere. And I notice that it has about the same bump as a live stream, where you get about 10, 15 minutes in and you see a bump in viewership as it shows up differently for them on their homepage. You will see live videos different. And I see creators trying to make their videos look live with the way they do their thumbnails, because live does pull viewers in a different way. And premieres pull viewers like it's a live. And I think it's a fantastic way to really get to know your community if you want to build a community.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so glad you left off with that last sentence. So far we've talked about cultivating, curating, and protecting your community. But let's talk about exactly how to build a community, because I think some people in the chat probably want to know that, especially new creators starting out. So Emily, what are some things that we can do to try and go about building our community?
Well, you gotta talk to your people. You have to let them know that you're around. You have to feel connected to your community and know who they are, which means you have to engage with them. If you're a creator that does not want to engage with people on the internet, make beautiful videos, share them, and hope that they grow that way. But if you want to build a community, part of the benefit is they will follow you where you go. If you're like, hey, we're going to go to Patreon now. I mean, my Patreon for the size of my channel is, well, Patreon tells me it's doing really well, but we're over 1,300 Patreons because people want to chat with each other and be in community. When I opened channel memberships, my community was like, can we do this, please? Yes, here it is. Hey, do you have merch? Sure, here it is. Hey, where else are you? When I go on to other channels, it bumps on those channels as well, because my community wants to watch what I am doing and I can expose them to other creators. But the way you do that is, one, knowing who you are as a creator and what your purpose is, and two, asking us and asking them to engage with you. I love it when people have the same username across platforms, because then I can recognize them on Instagram, on Twitter, and I can see where my community is. Yes, I engage with them on YouTube, but I engage with them on my other social platforms as well. And occasionally people will DM me and be like, oh, my YouTube handle is this. I'm like, I know you. But I want to be with my community, and I want to know my community. I want to ask them questions. I want them to respond. And that has to be your desire as a creator, not just like, oh, if I have a community, I can sell them anything. No, do not Paul brother your community with like, buy my merch, buy my merch, buy my merch. No. One of the things that connects us as a community are the things I love about the communities I'm a part of. When I go to a Dave Matthews concert, I am with people I've never met before. But then if you go to enough shows, you start to recognize people from the previous shows. Then you get into a Facebook group or a meetup group or a Discord server and say, hey, okay, the schedule's out. Where are we all going this summer? Where are we going to meet up and see each other? What are the things that we love? We talk about the aspects of the band that we love, the band members we love, the songs we love. And we do that too in my community. We have basically our own language for law now. We're creating a dictionary. so that we have it. But we have our own language. We make our own inside jokes. We have our own names. And that's something, if you come into my community new and say, what are you talking about with the yeet? My community will say, oh, it's this. And it's this joke, and it came from this live stream, and you can go back. Most of the things on my merch came from some shit that I said during a live stream, because my mouth sometimes just goes bleh. And that's part of it. It's cultivating that experience and wanting your live streams to be an experience, and engaging with your community and telling them how and when you're going to engage with your community. I try to answer questions at the end of my streams. I ask my community where they're coming in from at the beginning of my streams. We acknowledge where people are coming in from. We chat. And that's a big part of it. It's not just me doing a video. I would use a Premiere for that. It's me engaging with them too. And that's comfortable for me. It's why I like live streaming so much.
Definitely. And I think another aspect of building a community, especially in the beginning when you're first starting out, is being actively engaged in other creator communities. Like, I can't stress this enough. When you don't have a community and you're trying to build your own, where do you think you're getting the people from? Where do you think they're going to come from? They come from you engaging with other communities out there, whether that be on YouTube or Twitter or Instagram or wherever that you might be. Try engaging with other like-minded creators and their communities, answering questions, providing feedback, or providing some type of value. If you yourself can engage with other people's communities, they will then get curious about you and what you're about, and they will come check you out. And that is another way yet you can start building your community.
And when you look at your topic, there's a plus and minus to this, but when you're looking at your topics, look at Reddit. Look at what the Reddit communities around that topic are talking about and how they're talking about the topics, and see if that's a fit for you too. I can tell which videos have hit Reddit, either good or bad. And I can see where a Housewives video has been in a Housewives Reddit, but a Duggar video has been in a Duggar Reddit. And because I cover so many topics, those communities come over, and then we give them home training on how we behave as law nerds. And it's great. They become law nerds. They need it sometimes, because when you're on Reddit, you don't always know how to act right. So when we come to the law nerd community, we just remember that this is how we do things here. And I have law nerds who are like, oh my God, I'm a foot soldier from H3H3 and a law nerd. So I love this community and this community. And we see that with other communities around the internet too. The thing to remember is there is room for everyone on YouTube. Viewers don't just watch your channel. They are going to be part of multiple communities. Hopefully those communities are of creators that you also enjoy, that you also watch, and you understand that crossover. Otherwise, there is a disconnect on your channel. I love looking at the most recent watch videos from my community and seeing that most of the time they're the videos I'm watching too. I know that I'm in step with my community because we're all kind of doing the same thing on the internet, and YouTube provides that. That information is so helpful.
So somebody in the chat just asked, are there rules for engaging in other people's communities? The one thing that I would say about engaging in other people's communities is that don't go into somebody else's community, start promoting yourself. It's just rude, it's unethical, and it will get you blocked.
It will get you blocked real fucking quick.
Real quick. So I would say just go in there and interact organically, naturally, provide value when and where you can. But shameless self-promotion in other people's communities, no, man, we don't do that.
We don't do that to other creators. And if you go engage with creators you like, just become a part of their community too. I enjoy going into the chat of other communities, but I also don't want it to be about me. I want to be there to support the creator. So if people start asking me too many questions, I'm like, you guys, I'm here to support so-and-so. I'm loving this, this topic. And you kind of deflect versus, oh my God, I just talked about this. Come over on my channel and see what I said. Don't.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't.
There's a lot of subtle things that happen. Well, I guess when you're the broadcaster, it's less than subtle, but I think people in chat see it as subtle. Especially in the gaming community, one thing that can happen is somebody will come in from their channel. So it'll be their username that you may or may not recognize if you watch their channel, and they'll be watching your stream. And one thing they love to do is sign off your chat by saying, "Well, I got to go start my stream now. See you later."
Yep.
And it's always that thing too, where you recognize them because they're in your sphere, right? If you're playing a certain game, you've already seen their channel around. So you're happy that they're there. Hey, Bob, so glad to see you. Guys, when you get a chance, go check out Bob. They're great. They got some great content. And then Bob goes, and I'm going to start streaming now. Well, You know what?
Fuck you,
Yep.
Bob.
Not what I was going to say, but forget
No, it
everything I
wasn't,
said
but I'll
about
just say
Bob.
it for you. It needs to happen. Look, I try to be respectful of other creators in my community, knowing that if something happens in the topics we're talking about and somebody's gone live before me, I really try not to jump and go live at the same time they're live. I really do look to see if something urgently has happened and make sure I'm considerate of the other creators that are in the space of what I'm creating. But I have had creators do this in my chat, and my mods know, and they're like, no, this isn't what we do. And if it's a consistent problem, you just block people off of your channel. But creators who want to grow community aren't trying to poach another person's community, because they need to create what works for them. My community is not a right fit for other creators. My community can choose to opt in to this creator or that creator, but I know that other communities aren't right for all of them. And so just coming in being like, oh, I'm doing this, you might get them for a video. But if you have me on your channel and then put it behind a paywall, and promote me behind your membership, my community is never going to come back to your channel. That's just not going to happen.
No.
I remember we had to talk about this. Yeah, that's not cool.
Yeah, there's a lot of missteps I think you can make when you're trying to build a community. I think the most important thing is to be respectful of the other sub communities within that space, and you know me, I speak a lot from the experience of gaming. And so when you cover a game, you start to see some of the same names. If you're constantly on Twitch or YouTube and you're following these other broadcasters, you'll see people in their chat who you recognize. And if you chat, they'll recognize you and they'll say hello. And when that happens, I've always thought like it's really important for me right now not to like take the spotlight here.
Yes.
Like they recognize me, I'll say hello, but I'm gonna keep engaging with the broadcaster. So there's all these things that like as a broadcaster myself, I'm always aware of. I'm always trying to make sure that I'm not stepping on any toes. I want to be supportive of the people in my space without being distracting. So there's so many nuances here, and what it all comes down to is etiquette. I think everybody needs to, and I don't know. There's probably channels that cover this. Honestly, I've never looked for any. I probably should.
I bet there are. There's stream etiquette. There should be.
Yeah. And if that isn't a channel, there you go. Free channel idea for you.
It's like you wouldn't walk into a party late and be like, you guys, I have arrived. Come talk to me. I mean, maybe you would. And if you would, you're that kind of person and you shouldn't be in my community. But you just have to not be a dick. It's not that hard. And be mindful that you don't want to make other creators nervous. I've had very large creators come into my chat and I'm like, I'm sorry, I can't talk right now. I don't know what's happening, but like I saw Bailey Sarian's name pop up and now I've died inside because I love watching her content. So it's very interesting as a creator when you see people that you watch pop up. I'm always so happy when people say hello, but then I'm always like, oh, now why am I nervous? So
it's a pretty cool feeling when a large creator pop into your live chat. Pretty awesome.
Yep. Somebody said it's netiquette. It is, Debbie Bradley. It is netiquette. And I think it's a lost skill in some circles.
Yeah. It a lot of it comes down to common sense. Put yourself in the shoes of the person who you like to watch and think about what's cool in their communities. A great place to learn this if you can't find a good channel for it is just to bounce around streams that you like, read the rules and read the room, and pay attention to what the moderators react to and pay attention to what's tolerated and what's not tolerated.
Dan, I need you to go back real quick and explain what reading the room means real quick. Because a lot of people don't understand that term or they don't exercise it at all.
Yep.
I guess in the context of a live stream chat, reading the room would just be, okay, so I guess an example would be, Emily, if you're talking about something really serious in your live stream, which I imagine happens, right? It's a very serious channel.
Yep.
You wouldn't start cracking jokes in the chat if you were having a very somber conversation about something very sensitive, and a lot of the people in the chat too are like, oh man, that sucks that happened to them, and you wouldn't just bust in there and be like, I have arrived, like you said earlier, and just try and derail everything, or you'd start pointing out the vibe, like, oh gosh, this place is really a downer. Like, read the room.
We're literally talking about murder. This is a little bit of a downer right now. Yep.
Yes.
Yes. Definitely reading the room. And also the rule, when you said reading the rules, like we don't do name calling. So coming into my chat and being like, this person's crazy, this person's a narcissist, this person should be, death threats and these things, you're just going to get bounced right out. But some people come in to try to get a rise out of my chat. And it's something that used to happen in jury selection, and you would see it. Like, you would get one person that would taint the jury pool, one person who's like, I just can't do this. I've got this excuse. I've got this excuse. This case is going to be so late. And then every person who comes after it kind of takes on that vibe.
Mhm.
And you can have one person kind of ruin the mood.
Yep.
And your moderators have to also be aware of that and be like, hey, that's not what we're talking about right now. That's not what we're doing. That's not what this is. And that's a really important thing to talk to your moderators about, and have procedures for your moderators. Have a place where you chat with your moderators. Don't just throw someone a wrench and expect them to figure it out. That's giving them no input, no guidance, and no help. It's just leaving them hanging. So I chat with my moderators regularly. We have our own Slack channel. We're due for a face-to-face Zoom call here pretty shortly, but we make sure that we check in. And if a couple moderators are like, this screen name and this screen name have been problematic, I will go back and review the chat and be like, yeah, bounce them. And that's an important thing, because you don't want those few kind of bad apples that are just trying to troll your chat, unless that's what your chat's about. If your chat is Thunderdome and you just want to roast people, have at you. It's your chat. Just make sure that that feels good to you as a creator, and that's the space you want to go into all the time. Younger Emily might have enjoyed that. Older Emily wants it to be fun.
Yeah.
Emily, can we take a quick sidebar to introduce the non-stuffed animal furry creature on your chair behind you?
Yeah, that's Fred.
Oh,
It's Fred the cat.
Fred's like Fight Club. We don't talk about Fred when he's chill and sleeping, because otherwise I'm going to end up with a tail in my face in like 30 seconds. But Fred was very much all in my business through this whole stream. I was trying to film a brand integration the other night, and he just wanted to see all the things I was talking about. It took me at least 4 times as long, because Fred was like, what are we doing? What are we looking at? What are we opening? What are we touching? There is no streaming when you have a cat. It just is.
It's true. So quick story for me, because you touched on something there very important, which is one person can bring down the whole vibe, right? It's true in jury selection. It's true in your live stream chats.
Yes, it is.
I literally abandoned my old community. And it's happened twice now, because I was that bad when I was younger building communities. But this last time was it was kind of overdue. I stopped showing up because I was burnt out of the content I was making, and the people who I surrounded myself with in the end weren't making it any easier. Instead of, like you were saying earlier, your community was very supportive, like, only if you're up for it. The people who were like that for me got chased away by the people who were like, shut up, Dan, just do the thing, And
what dance, Dan?
Yes,
just
yes,
shut up and talk about what we want you to talk about. Oh no,
right?
I can't even. My chat would lose their minds if somebody was like, "Why is she talking so much?" They'd be like, "Literally, that's what we're here for." You can go.
It just got to a point, because I let a couple people who eventually left. By the way, I let a couple people who were super negative hang out just a few streams too many. And because I let a lot of the jokes roll off, it became a thing. And now this guy that we watch is this punching bag. So I come here to, shout rage at him in funny ways, and he reacts in funny ways. And so I'm going to keep coming back for that. And it's all on you as the creator. When you let that persist for so long, you don't realize like the toll that can take. And that's what happened to me. It just, every stream, one after another, I found myself looking forward to it less and less and less. Oh no, like Tim's going to show up. And if Tim shows up, I'm just not going to enjoy myself. Sure enough, there's Tim. And Tim says something sarcastic. And everybody in there like, oh yeah, that is a funny observation that Tim just made. And they all jump on the Tim bandwagon. And so now this fictional person I made up here just brings the whole thing down. And so my stream that was going to be 4 hours turned into 1 hour, and I'm going to just leave now.
Yeah.
So,
if I get a pit in my stomach being like, I don't want to see this name pop up in my stream, they're blocked on my channel. I trust my gut. It's the same way when you like go to an HOA meeting and there's that one person, you're like, God, please let them be traveling. Please don't show up. It's all going to be terrible if you're there. And those are people you try not to interact with in your real life. Why would you accept it on your stream? You're the
Right.
creator. And if you want to be a creator long term, you have to protect your energy and your space. And you wouldn't literally, the people on my stream are people that if I hosted a meetup, I hope they would all come because I want to know them in real life too. And I like the people in my community. I like being in community with them. And if I don't want to see your screen name pop up because it makes me feel like I don't want to deal with you, block.
Well,
See,
sorry.
go ahead.
The solution to the Tim problem, for anyone listening who's like, oh, that kind of sounds like somebody in my ecosphere, the solution to that problem, no matter how long they've been a subscriber, no matter how many donations they've given you, no matter if they're in your membership program or not, the solution to that problem is to remove them.
Yep.
And the longer you know them, the harder that is to do. But in the end, what happened to me was that I was already kind of like done making that kind of content anyway. But what happened to me was like I would have to bounce so many people at this point, and I'm not even going to revive the channel. So I'm just going to slowly back out of the room, Discord in that case. But I would have been a lot happier. It would have been a much more amicable split because I would have probably gotten over the content in the end anyway. It would have been a much better send off, if I had people there I cared to say goodbye to.
Right.
Then go back to the point Emily was talking about earlier about having moderators that share your ideology and your vibe, and they can go and handle that stuff. I remember I was doing a stream, I think about 3 months ago, and for whatever reason, I had a person try to raise the stream with racist terms, and this is not my first rodeo, so I didn't even acknowledge them. The moderator jumped on it and banned them pretty quickly, and it was like they were never there. So when you have moderators that understand what to do when those situations arise, then you can really stop that stuff before you even start. So very important to have awesome moderators at your back.
Absolutely. And I know, my friends that are Black creators, they will inevitably have to deal with racist shit being slung at them. My friends that are female creators will ultimately get stuff slung at them for being women. It's a very interesting thing. That doesn't happen on my channel very much anymore at all, because there's just no room for it. Occasionally one will slip by, but people are like, aren't you afraid to go live? I'm like, no. I was covering a little bit of the Gabby Petito case just to bring my perspective as a prosecutor. And I was doing it on my podcast. I have sponsorship commitments on my podcast through well into 2022 at this point. So each episode has to have a sponsor. Otherwise, I cannot keep up with my contractual obligations. And somebody went to Twitter and was like, this is disgusting. Why would you have a sponsorship? You're covering this topic, blah, blah, blah. And a number of people in my community are like, have you called the news to complain that there's ads during the news? Have you called these podcasts to complain because there's sponsorships during them? This is an advertisement during content. What is your problem? And I didn't have to address it at all. I saw it, but my community's like, no, that's not the burn you think it is. That's not the argument you think it is. Emily's a full-time creator. We know that. And so that is part of the power of community, because my community didn't go after this person with name calling, with like, who do you think you are? It was really, these are the facts. People cover news and they advertise on that. That is just a fact. So it was interesting to see, because we've set up that expectation. I share that I'm a full-time creator. I share that this is sponsorships and YouTube ad revenue are how I make money. And I'm not ashamed of that, because I think that I bring more value than a lot of the news channels these days anyway. So it's interesting to set that expectation. Look, we bring facts. Half of the news stories that I see cover things without any compassion, dive into details that they shouldn't be talking about, and are just gross in the way they cover things, because that's what drives, or that's what they think drives engagement. Creating a community this way takes time and energy, but it's worth it. It's not a quick fix. It is a consistent grow that will allow me to be a creator for years to come. Hey, Classy Mom. Good to see you.
Thank you for the super chat, Classy Mom.
It's one of my mods. It's your 1-year modversary.
That is awesome.
I will also fight someone who comes for my mods. And I have fought people that have come for my mods. So
Thank you so much for the super chat. Just wanted to make sure I put that on the screen there.
And you have to be willing to do that, by the way. Don't be that boss that throws your people under the bus. And we've seen creators do it, and we've seen entrepreneurs do it. Every time like Rachel Hollis gets into trouble, she's like, oh, my social media team posted it. They're your team. Do not throw them under the bus. If I have a mod, and this has not happened, but if I had a mod do something that I disagreed with, I would address it with them privately, and publicly I would say, oh, we're talking about that miscommunication. That is it. That's all. Because that's part of my team. And at the end of the day, I've asked the mods to do and enforce my rules in my chat. And so I am going to back them while they're doing it, even if there are miscommunications in that, because there's always going to be. It's just text. You can't always read tone. And somebody's like, no, that was a joke. Why did I get timed out? It's like, well, you had all caps. You know the rules here. So you've got to back your moderators, and they will back you. But I also don't expect my moderators, and I see this with creators, it's so weird to me, like, oh, if you're a mod on my channel, you can't be on any other channel. What? No, this like blind loyalty of mods thing is also very weird to me. I'm like, enjoy the content you enjoy. When we're here, we do things our way. That's it.
Yeah.
It's not that deep.
I mean, you could moderate for somebody who has a completely opposite vibe in their community. And as long as you're willing to abide by both, you know, there's no rules there. It's, you know.
It's so funny, though, that Emily talks about the whole exclusivity modding thing. Because it's funny, like, I think it was like 3 years ago, I jokingly called El Jefe my head of security, and now he mods everywhere. So I can imagine being like telling El Jefe, no, you can't mod anywhere else, El Jefe. No. Like, what?
Right.
No.
And that's really common in the tech world, that you see a lot of the same creators are moderators around different channels. Most of my moderators are not creators in my space, because that's what works for me. I don't want other creators to feel like they have to adhere to my rules. I want them to just, if you're coming in to watch, come in to watch. But that's my choice. Other channels have their friends that are creators have a wrench because it's a sign of respect. I don't always understand that. I'm like, I respect you and I'll shout out your channel, but you don't need a wrench here. Like we have a whole process. We don't just throw wrenches at people. That it is a process.
Yeah. I've had a lot of well-meaning people ask, to be moderators, and it is important. And we haven't even touched on that. How do you even find good moderators? And I do want to get to Q&A, which we will do soon. So be sure you're saving your questions for that. But maybe this is the last thing we touch on real quick. Finding good moderators, I would say, is so important. Like you said earlier, they are a reflection of you. For one, I built a small application, and I threw some scenarios at them. Like, this is what's happening. How do you handle it? Not a multiple choice either. Like, no, write a paragraph. Like, tell me how you would handle it and your thought process behind that. What are some of the things that you've done, Emily, to cultivate some good mods?
So at the very, very beginning, I had a live stream, and my live streams when I started growing my channel had 6 people, and then 60 people, and then 100 people. And I was just moderating it myself because you can. Yeah. Then I had a stream jump to like 3,000 people, and I was like, oh, hell. And since then, it's been from 3,000 to like up to 10,000 on my stream. So we definitely need help. The first people who said, I've got you, were people who are already a part of my community. Tech Valor Miguelina, who is now part of the vidIQ team, because she's amazing, has been a YouTube creator that I have known for, like 6 years at this point, and was like, I can help. I was like, thank you. And then we started talking about what we needed from other moderators and looking towards our community. Who was regularly in the chat, who was saying, oh my God, it's your first time here. Welcome here. This means that we're doing this. People who are already moderating from the chat, already thanking people for super chats, already seeing what our moderators were doing. And then we go and look at what they're doing around social media and at their social media presence. Then we have a chat with them. We have an onboarding period to see how they do, kind of in mod probation before they get a wrench. And then we bring them into the fold and support them and honor them. So hopefully that makes sense. We can get into more nuts and bolts if people have specific questions.
Absolutely.
I'm happy to.
Absolutely. Let's pivot. Let's answer some questions. We also have another segment coming up soon, but we'll take some questions first. And yeah, please, if you guys have questions, here's how this works. What you do, I'll put that banner up, is start your question with #question. It helps us discern who's asking us something versus who's just kind of hanging out in chat, having a good time. So, which both are encouraged. So go ahead and start asking your questions. We will be here for the next hour or so, answering them with minimal distraction. Maybe there'll be some distraction later.
There will be some distraction. You can already hear my voice getting hoarse. I need to find a bigger humidifier for my office because I'm talking so much. My voice keeps getting dry as it's getting drier here in Tennessee.
Oh, so boy. Our first question comes from Milena Kick Game. She said, at what point should you think about getting a moderator? At a subscriber number, at an average live stream attendance number?
That's
immediately.
a great question. I would think
immediately.
And then as your live streams start to grow, you can start to grow it. But if you have one person that's showing up to your lives regularly, ask them and start to co-create it with them. You build your community with your community, and you ask them. And you ask them what they want, you ask them for input, and know that the mods that come on at the beginning because of life and jobs and business might be in and out, and know that that's okay. As long as you have some kind of process and procedure and start building it together. It doesn't have to be as formal as mine is. That's something that grew.
Yeah, I say immediately, because then your moderator can grow with you in the channel, and then they can know what to do if a certain situation arrives that didn't arrive when the channel was smaller. So immediately at the end.
Yeah, if you can immediately, definitely. What the one thing I'll caution is don't, and we've already touched on this, but don't promote anybody. Like you need to have a vibe of who these folks are that you're considering for your moderators. If you're not going to go through an application process, sometimes sometimes you've been chatting with people long enough, like you just kind of know in your gut, like this person make a great moderator. I wonder if they'd be interested. And the other bit of advice I would give you is to make sure you have a line to them that is outside of YouTube. Yes. Even if it's just Twitter, like whatever you can do to communicate with them separate from the platform. There's no good DMing on the platform anymore. That used to be a thing. You want a Discord or something. And I have my own thoughts on starting a Discord too early, but at least have something for your moderators to talk to.
We use Slack for our moderator line of communication. Because I also like our mods, and our mods can use their screen names in Slack or their real names in Slack. It depends on what they're comfortable with. And we are almost done with creating this crazy gift box that's going out to our moderators, and some of our supporters and subscribers. But we also do things to support our moderators, because most of my moderators are volunteers and are spending their time in the community. It's not always fun to moderate. And my moderators can tell you, there are some topics we cover where people get out of hand, and it's just a lot of work to rein the chat in to be respectful. And there's things that are said in the chat that can be triggering to you as a moderator or to me as a creator. There's times somebody says stuff in a chat and I'm like, why would you think to put that in a chat? But our goal is to make sure that we understand, we don't have miscommunications, and we allow people to have differences of opinion while being respectful, even when those opinions bump up against our own beliefs. And that can be a very hard thing to moderate. And our moderators do a really good job with that.
Absolutely. If you find a good mod, what can you do to make them happy and keep them encouraged throughout the journey? I'm guessing you mean, how do you retain that person?
Communication, and then co-create it with them. Ask them. Make sure that you take times to acknowledge them on stream and work with them. So I find that communication is really the key to this, but also having clear expectations. It's like anything. If they know what you expect of them and know, hey, we're going to build this thing together, and you're engaging with them, that is what most moderators want. But there's also some of my mods in the stream, and people I'm sure here that mod on other channels can share what they like best. But I would say you start with good communication.
There you go. Yeah, I couldn't add anything to that, honestly. It's communication's everything. Once you promote them as mod, that's the beginning of the journey. You don't kind of go, okay, cool, vetted them. You want to keep a constant line open.
Mm-hmm.
The Raven asked, how can we activate join channel members? You've not made a video about it because unlocked at 1K subscribers. Yeah, YouTube keeps changing the goalposts on it, but I think if you have at least 1,000 subscribers, you are eligible to unlock it, but there might be some other things that go into that, but maybe Dan can speak more to that.
I did this recently. I'm just trying to remember all the steps because I don't think once I was monetized, I don't think I had instant access to it. I think YouTube kind of has different stages where they're vetting you.
And then you've got to set what you're offering for your channel members, and that has to be approved too.
Yeah, once you actually get it, it's not instantaneous. There's an approval process. Very quick though. It's only every time it could change, it takes like maybe 12 to 24 hours. It's
it is pretty quick. I would also encourage building those custom badge icons for your people and custom emojis. It is so worth it. And it's one of the things I really enjoy. It's one of the things I want StreamYard to start supporting is the custom emojis. I'm waiting for that.
Yes. And go out there and you can commission people to do these. By the way, if you have emotes, badges, things like that, prices, in my experience, have always been very fair. Sometimes I would say that they undercharge some of them. I get them like, I'm going to tip them because this is a lot of really nice work. So that's one of the things. You did yours in Canva?
I did mine in Canva.
It's one of the things you can kind of invest in it and, really, really go all out. So yeah, once you start doing stuff like that, and we've talked about turning your channel into a business a lot. I always felt like that was those were the moments where I'm like, wow, this really does feel like a business. Like I'm, putting money in, for the purpose of getting money out of it.
Yep.
All right. Looking for some questions here. Let's see. We do have a lot of very interesting questions. I do think maybe this downtime, maybe it's a good thing to do now to interrupt everything we're doing. I think you all know what time it is, right?
Oh boy.
Uh-oh.
This is
what's going on, everybody? It's the Savage time, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here. You can thank your everybody. Leave me a tip, ladies and gentlemen. Leave me a tip. $12.95 every 5 minutes if you want to. Just hit the subscribe button and send your money to me.
Thanks. This is Defend the Indefensible, and I'm not sure how Savage got in here, but every so often when we have Emily on, we love to interrupt everything, throw our attention into the ground, and play a little game. So this is how this works. Every one of us is going to give another one of us a topic, and that person needs to defend it for 30 seconds. They need to defend this topic as if their life depends on it. And as I get set up,
oh my God,
because I'm not super set up here. I just need the timer.
Hold on, my lawyer's calling. I'm trying to get the conservatorship of Britney Spears. Hang on. Tell her I want all her money. We're good.
You sound like James Spears, Hanlon Spears.
He's just an obstacle. I'll get past him. Don't worry.
Okay. So I'm gonna have this 30-second timer up.
Oh my God! You used it.
Check him
you
out.
get 30 seconds to defend what you're trying to defend. So here's what we need to do. First of all, Emily, it looks like you have something in here already in the
No, chat. Somebody asked a question that I want to get to when we get back because it's a really good question. So I just made a note so we could find it when we get back.
Okay. So the only
I can
problem
put one in if we want to do one. I can do one for Vipe.
Okay, cool. I was going to say the only problem with this is it's always very clunky how we get the questions. So the person doesn't know the question they're going to be asked. So Emily's going to ask one to Viper. So go ahead and put it in private chat. I will
Vipe,
put
get
it
out
on
of the private chat.
Yeah, I'm not looking at no private chat.
Not in the private
That's
chat.
kind of like that OnlyFans chat is what I call that.
What?
Chat back there. Got to pay money to see it. And then once you don't pay, you don't see it anymore.
Thank you for
Is that legal, by the way? If you pay for something on like OnlyFans, can they take it away from you? Can I sue them? That don't make no kind of sense. I paid for the jubblies, and you gonna take the jubblies away from me?
What is going on?
Come on, man.
This is a wholesome game we're trying to play.
How does that work? Can I do a small claims
How
court?
does wholesome work?
Oh my goodness, the jubbly.
All right, this is going to be really great. So the first one we're going to do here is for Viper from Emily. And Viper, you need to defend this
position.
This position, okay? Are you ready to defend this?
I don't know what it is, but sure, why not?
All right, that's the point. You're not supposed to.
That's the point. You get told, and then you get 30 seconds.
Oh baby.
All right, so what you're defending is Starbucks is overpriced and overrated. You can make coffee at home. Go.
Whoa, wait, hold up, time the hell out. Who came up with this? Who in the world would actually suggest that Starbucks is overpriced and overrated? This is absolute buffoonery. Listen, man, some things you can't make at home, okay? Some things you need the barista to make for you because they have the ingredients, they have the recipe that you need for it to come out the way it's supposed to come out. So no, you can't do that stuff at home. You have to have Starbucks do it for you to get it done correctly. This is buffoonery right here. What kind of
reverse world? He don't understand how this works. I don't think he understands.
Nope.
Someone needs to explain.
Viper did not understand the assignment.
Apparently not.
He's like, I'm not defending the indefensible. It's so indefensible that I refuse to defend it. It's buffoonery. I will not defend.
That's you know what? I'll take that. I'll accept that. He's not wrong.
He's not wrong, but that's why it's defend the indefensible.
All right. How about, let's see. Maybe I should go next for Emily then, since I already have this up here.
Sure. Viper, you've got to think of a question for Savage.
Oh my God. I got the Savage Cat right here. What's going on, Savage Cat? Show everybody. Say hi. Hi, Savage Cat. All right, there you go. There you go, bud.
All right. I got one for Emily here.
Keep him from peeing
All right.
on the floor.
You guys always ask me hard questions.
Yeah, I think you'll like this one.
Okay, good.
All right. Let me get the screen back up here. There's too many things. We need more screens. Okay. All right, Emily, you ready?
Sure.
Let me make sure I type this right. Okay, here we go. You should never read chat while you live stream.
I mean, obviously, you should never read the chat while you're in a live stream. You're going to get distracted, and then your stream is going to be total crap. Why would you want to read the chat? There's nothing valuable to be gleaned there anyway. It's just people talking about randomness. Why? How is this indefensible? Never, ever read the chat. You don't need to know who those people are that are popping by your live stream anyway. They're just, random trolls that are going to come by and do nothing but harass you and make fun of your face.
Wait, there's a chat? What are you talking about? People watch this foolishness?
Did I say it's distracting? I don't know if I said that. Oh, I can't do that. I love my chat so much.
I knew by then we would have spoken quite a bit about how great it is to communicate with chat. So that was my logic behind
The hard
that
one.
Yeah.
Indefensible.
Does Savage have one for somebody?
Do I got to make something up? All right, hold on. Let me see if I can figure out one from
Make
Dan.
one up for Dan.
All right, let's see.
If you put in private chat, I will see it before I'm supposed to. Maybe you should just tell
How about
me.
you don't look at private chat? Isn't that simple?
But I'm the only one who can put it on the screen.
Oh, so you want me to just what okay, well, what do you want me to do? Just tell you what it is?
Yes.
All
Dan,
right.
are you ready?
Are you ready, Dan?
Yeah.
I want you to tell all these folks that are watching why it is absolutely the best thing to do is to live with your parents in the basement at home when you're a YouTuber. Tell them.
It saves you so much money, like stupid amounts of money to live in your basement. In fact, if you have a crawl space, even better, because if they start charging you rent, I mean, you can just go by the square footage and be like, listen, I got like 20 square feet to work with. So I'll give you $2 a square foot. That's cheap rent. Okay. So rent aside, I mean, no, that's the only benefit really. After that, I can't defend it any more than that. I'm sorry.
But then people can make you food.
That's what I'm saying.
See, yeah.
You can
That's
just
the
be a
best thing.
streamer. And if you're living in a crawl space, the sound acoustics are going to be amazing.
Yeah, you got it. See, this is why Emily's going to win. Emily always wins.
You get
I have so
hungry,
many
you
thoughts.
eat them rats too.
Vipe, do you have one for Travis? Sorry,
Here.
for Savage.
I think I can come up with something. Sure, why
Dr.
not?
Savage, by the way.
Oh,
My doctorate, I didn't get it for nothing. So you can call me Mr. What's wrong with you? Mr. Doctor to you.
Mr. Doctor.
Yeah, Mr. Dr. Savage.
Viper, go ahead and put it in private chat, and I'll.
Sure.
Put it in the OnlyFans chat.
Stop saying that.
The only chat.
I feel like vidIQ is about to announce a new property.
What do we got going on here? That's a long type. You type with 2 fingers? You type with all 10? What do you want them peck typers? Is that what you do? You peck. Is that how it works? What's going on over there, man?
I
It's taking a long
have,
time, man. Use your voice to text, man.
I have entered the chat.
All right.
This should be interesting.
All right, here we go.
All right. Here we go. Are you ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. All right. You need to defend the position that someone's calling the Pixel 6 Pro fingerprint sensor the best fingerprint sensor ever.
All right, that's pretty easy, to be honest. Because if you've really been paying attention to all these smartphone stuff, you know there's only one fingerprint. There's never been any other ones. It's just the Pixel 6 Pro. You know, there's fake news out there that Samsung has some fingerprints. They ain't had no fingerprints. Come on, man. Those things ain't fingerprints. That was fake. As soon as you press the button, it opened up. That wasn't a fingerprint sensor. Come on, man. The Pixel 6 Pro, that Google loveliness. You click that, it looks at your fingerprint, sends it to NASA, and you good to go. Let you rate in. Sends all your data to Google and Facebook.
All right. So that was...
And your GPS coordinates and everything. And it sends a nude to your ex. It opens up an OnlyFans for you. As soon as you press your finger on there, it signs you up for all that.
Oh, gosh.
I'm telling you.
This went too far.
What?
Your time ended forever ago.
What happened?
Did not stay within the time limit at all, but we'll allow it.
Yo.
Okay, so what I want to do now is put up a poll. I don't know if
It's
Dan... It's up? Okay, fantastic. So you're going to vote on who you thought won that round of Defend the Indefensible. Maybe we'll do another round in a little bit. I'll have to bring this up now just because I'm curious to see how
I'd like to point out that I do bribe people if they want to go ahead and vote for the Savage Man. I'm going ahead and I'll bribe you up a little bit. Don't you worry about it.
I like the offer of bribes.
Evidently, the bribes have gone through because Savage is winning.
That's right. Well, that's the only way it can end. We already know this. It's not. This isn't a matter of like enough people vote for me. We already know. People here, they got 2 ears, they got 2 eyes, they see me. There you go. Done. I win.
Oh, law nerds, don't apologize to me. I love it.
Oh, the law
I
nerds
see
are
the
cool,
chat.
man.
They're like, sorry, I'm like, don't apologize. My feelings are not invested in Defend the Indefensible.
Let me tell you something. These law nerds know what side their bread is buttered on. You know they got that buttered bread over here. Let's get
So
some.
law nerds can be savage. So I mean, I like it.
So you had saved a question. Let's get back to Q&A for a bit.
I did. I saw the question I had pointed out, and I didn't type the entire question, and I should have, was about Discord and at what point, like when is it too soon to start a Discord? And I know you've had experience with that, Dan, so I thought it was a great question from Aaron Palmer.
So yeah, I'm glad someone asked because Discord is something that, again, from experience, I think I started one way too early. Because if you're just starting out on YouTube and you start to gain maybe a core base of like 10 people, right? Like you got some fans, you got some people who are excited to see you. What can happen is those people form a really strong bond in that Discord, right? And what I feel like that does in some cases, maybe not all, is it creates this impenetrable shield. So as more people start to enter your orbit, they are deterred immediately because there's already this culture that they weren't really part of, you know? So it's kind of like you just want to be careful because when you start a Discord with a lot more people, there's a lot more voices in there that are active. It makes a new person actually, I would say, feel more welcome because there's so many people here. You don't know who's new and who's not.
Right.
And there's a lot more folks there to actually welcome new people into the fold. You know, but if you just had like this really small group of like 10 people and an 11th person tried to join, it's a really good chance that it'd be hard for them to kind of break through into
It's
that
like somebody
circle.
random joining a group text.
Yes.
You're like,
yes.
who are you adding to the group text? This is our family group text. We don't know that person.
Exactly.
But when my kid, so we moved to Middle Tennessee, but when my kiddo started junior high, so many people had moved during 2020 that it wasn't like, oh, who's that new kid? Because there was so much flux that it was just like, oh, okay, whatever. And that can be really, really helpful when you have people welcoming.
Yeah.
Versus having people that are protective of the space. Like, this is our private chat and we don't want anybody here. Yeah, I hear that.
One thing you could encourage your moderators to do to also help avoid this is make them know that, like, hey, if you have time, like, can you please welcome people who are new? Like, go out of your way, especially if I'm not there, to just say, hey, you know, welcome. If you have any questions, reach out, you know, and just that little tiny bit of effort can make somebody, it's the difference between somebody staying and leaving in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah. which
All
matters.
right. So
I still don't have a Discord for my channel. Because we have Patreon and we have channel memberships, and that takes another level of moderation. And though I love TechTube, I also spend a lot of time in commentary at YouTube and the commentary drama and tea community. And the amount of screenshots I've seen coming out of Discords where people are acting wild reflect back on the creator is not something I'm ready to ask for moderation of, because stuff can go off the rails quickly on Discord, especially because it's 24/7.
yeah,
So
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right. So looking for some questions.
Somebody said
here.
PewDiePie made his Discord server after 110 million subs. I think that's going to be my track to Discord. 100 million. Once we get to 100 million subs, I'll consider it.
I saw someone suggest to put it behind a paywall. I actually know creators who have done that, so it's part of their membership perks.
Yep.
The thing I would caution there is make sure you are willing to deliver that time investment, because once you put it behind a paywall, it becomes a membership perk, and there is an expectation attached to that.
There is a big expectation attached.
Yes, you need to be willing to commit time to that. When I was early on and I started a Patreon Minecraft server, the one thing I wasn't prepared for was actually being on the server as often as I should have been. And nothing will make your server more dead than the person who hosts it not hosting it.
Kind of like when you premiere a video and the creator doesn't show up.
Oh, all right. I got a good question here. So we got Maker Media Plus says, how do you budget your YouTube channel? This is a good question. So when you're first starting out, it is very important for all creators to realize that you do not want to go into debt over your YouTube channel. I actually talked about this last week with Sean Cannell in Clubhouse, but number one, when you want to upgrade gear and do different things like that, you want to upgrade for speed. Whatever can save you time, that's what you want to do. Also, the other thing to consider is I wouldn't be worrying about buying too much stuff for the YouTube channel until the channel itself can pay for the stuff that you buy. When you get to a level where the channel is paying for it, then wild out. But if it's coming out of your pocket and it's putting you into debt, then that's not what you want to do. So I would just caution against doing that stuff.
I got a question for Emily. I know Emily knows about this pop culture stuff. You know that Jennifer Lopez?
What did J-Lo do?
No, but you know how she's had some tea in her life. Let's be honest, she's had some tea.
Uh-huh.
But, listen, let me tell you something about J-Lo, man. She thick as a milkshake. I like that a lot. But she crazy as a bag full of cats. I don't know. Should I get involved with her or not? I'm not sure.
First of all, women aren't crazy. You just don't understand.
J-Lo isn't crazy?
No, you just don't get it.
God. I need a thesaurus or a dictionary or something to kind of learn her. I'm just trying to figure out, do I take classes for J-Lo? And do I try to learn and understand her?
Yes.
Become her special someone?
Salsa.
For about 6 to 7 months?
Salsa classes.
All right. Oh, salsa. I like chips.
Don't write those off as a business expense on your channel, though.
Damn.
Because trying to date J-Lo is not an actual media strategy.
Oh, man. Listen, I was hoping not to get canceled, but that's all right.
We'll cancel you. Don't worry. But no, Viper gave really good advice with not overextending on your channel. The questions I get asked a lot is like, oh, I need a new camera. I need a new light. I need a new mic. Start with what you have, grow from there, because eventually as your channel grows, you can grow with it and you can bring the things on with it. So
the best way to get impressions on the community tab, I haven't noticed any improvements. So for those who don't know, the community tab is a section of YouTube that you unlock now at 500 subscribers, and it's awesome.
Oh, really? They changed it?
Yep.
Good. Everyone should have the community tab.
Yeah. They alluded to that being their goal too. Eventually, they would like everyone to have access to it. To increase your impressions, the best thing you can do is make content for your audience, just like you would do a video. Don't ask super personal questions on there. Don't be posting very personal updates on there. At least don't frequently do that. Certainly do it sometimes. People like the little look-see into your life and stuff, but the most engaging posts, in my experience, are the ones that directly relate to your audience. Treat the community tab content like video content. Hopefully that makes sense. Ask questions. If you're playing a game, ask questions that would be fun to answer if you were somebody who enjoys that game. I see a Minecraft avatar, so questions like, how many blocks do you think make up a mountain range in Minecraft? Just silly nonsense like that, and put it as a poll, and let people vote on it.
Polls are so good.
Yes.
On the community tab. I mean, tens and tens of thousands of votes on polls. I love the polls.
Yeah, as a channel with under like what was it? Under a couple thousand subscribers. I think I had just over 1,000 because I just unlocked it. I was getting very quickly votes on my polls up to 10,000. It was crazy.
They get pushed out quite a lot.
Yeah, and it's so much easier for people to interact with that than a video. As they're scrolling, they'll vote on your poll and they'll keep looking for content they want to watch.
Yep.
And people vote on enough of your polls and they see your little channel avatar there enough, they're likely, I think, to click on your videos. I think YouTube, in my experience, I feel like YouTube is testing my videos to people who've exclusively just been on my community tab. I don't know that. I'm just the vibe I'm getting.
Yeah, it's worth it.
All right.
That's what you should put a poll up. Savage, you should vote on how you're going to get in with J-Lo. Let your community decide.
Oh,
that's a good idea.
My community is a bunch of miscreants and people that live in their basement. I don't think they've never seen a woman before, let alone try to tell me how to get one. How to get
communities are a reflection of the creator. We say that so often.
They're savage, that's for sure. I ain't gonna lie about that. Most of them don't pay their bills. And then pay their loans all the time. All right, what we got?
Does YouTube only push out every other short? That's what happened to me. No,
I don't know.
But yeah, the shorts algorithm can be a mystery. You can have shorts that do nothing for weeks and weeks and then suddenly end up on the shelf. Yeah, when it comes to, I pulled this up because there's no easy answer. We definitely don't know how this is working. I think it's just because it's still in beta. You got YouTube testing all sorts of different ways. If you're uploading multiple shorts a day, maybe that's a clue that you should upload one a day rather than multiple in a day. Kind of play around with your upload schedule a little bit.
Speaking of short, Steve streamed that. Oh no, that's the one. Whatever, the other one. I just thought. Okay, wait, nope. Where? How did I just do the question I just had? Somebody was asking a question about. Justin asked. Justin Jupiter asked, is it normal for your custom thumbnail not to show up for shorts on your channel? No, your custom thumbnail should show up on your channel. Now, what will happen is that when your shorts hit the YouTube short shelf, then the short shelf will strip it away, so it will not show up on the shelf. But on your channel, it should be there.
I think on mobile, I could be wrong about this, but I think on mobile, even if you're just looking at the person's video feed, it still doesn't put the custom thumbnail up. But I could be wrong. Yeah, but definitely on YouTube for desktop, I always see a thumbnail if they've put a thumbnail on their shorts. Rob said something yesterday about this. I should have been paying more attention, but he was talking about how YouTube seems to be doing even more to discourage people from using short thumbnails at all. And I wish I could show you. I saw a really weird one today on my phone. I was scrolling through, and here's what I had. I had a community post. I had this very strange looking thinner thumbnail, but took up the whole width of the screen, and then a video under it. And I'm like, is this part of this community post? And it wasn't. And it was this weird stretched out image.
That's odd.
Of a person's mouth. I'm like, who would make this their thumbnail? And I clicked on it, and it became a vertical short. So it's as if they're testing the short shelf as an entry point without having 3 shorts in front of you, just one, and they just stretch it out, and it looked terrible.
Yeah,
like this person probably didn't know their mouth was going to be the thumbnail. They probably weren't prepared for that at all.
Probably not.
Which is probably why shorts shouldn't have a horizontal thumbnail.
Yeah,
they should have a vertical still, just like they do on TikTok and on Reels, because otherwise it flips the way you're watching it. And if your thing is flipped, if you're watching YouTube like this and then you get to shorts, you have to flip it.
Mm-hmm.
They're also playing with on mobile, adding like member acknowledgments on the bottom of a channel's shelf. I think that just rolled out yesterday. I haven't seen it. I polled my community and people are like, I don't want that at all. My whole community was like, I don't want that. Like, I don't need anyone to know who I'm a member of unless they're on that channel and see me in the chat with my membership badge. Like, people don't need to know. I don't want somebody scrolling around YouTube and seeing what channels I'm a member of. So it's very interesting to see what YouTube rolls out.
Ooh, Terry McGarry has an interesting question. Should your channel thumbnail change over time? Bad idea.
What do you mean by channel thumbnail?
I wonder if they mean banner
or the avatar, your channel. I'm thinking they mean the channel avatar. The profile picture on your channel.
I need clarification.
Yeah. Either way, you certainly could change it over time. I would.
Yeah.
I'd be careful because it might make your channel look a little bit different, and that could, be a problem. I know one person recently, a friend of mine, changed theirs, and it was very similar to their original one, so they saw no issue at all. Kind of depends on what you're doing, I guess, but I don't know if in the end, I don't know if it matters. I
I
think
changed my avatar so that my avatars all match when I changed my hair color. So when I
there you go.
changed my avatar across social media, my avatar is the same across my social media,
Yeah.
intentionally so that it's like, oh, that's the right
That's right.
right one. The
Consistent
purple hair.
branding across all the socials, and he means channel picture, so he doesn't mean avatar. Yeah.
Yeah.
So when
Okay.
I first started my channel, I had a picture of a logo, and then I later learned that if you want to connect more with potential viewers, having an actual picture of your face is the better way to go. So I changed it to a picture of my face. So yeah, you can change it when you have more data and information about what you want to do with the channel. I would definitely suggest changing it when the time comes.
Yeah, if
Yeah.
you're not doing a corporate channel, and by corporate I mean like Coca-Cola's YouTube channel or a branded channel for like a brand or a thing, there should be a human behind your channel. And we even see this with large brands. They try to add a person behind the brand. We had that forever with like the Verizon guy. You're like, oh, that's the Verizon guy. And with Flow, you look at the commercials, you're like, oh, that's kind of the face of this otherwise just corporate logo. So even when you're looking at big corporations, they're trying to bring a human face to their branding. And if you are just a solo creator channel, you should be bringing your face to your channel because people want to watch people in video, not just things. I don't go to most branded content unless it's on Twitter because brand accounts on Twitter are a very specific and sassy thing. But when we're talking about video, there's got to be someone to connect to. I find it harder to connect with faceless channels, and this happens in the commentary community too, is that you will have a channel that's a channel icon and an overlay of photo or other video with a voiceover. It's a little harder to connect because you don't know the face behind it. Now people do that so they don't get canceled in their real life, depending on the type of commentary they do. But sometimes it's harder to connect with faceless YouTubers, unless it's Corpse Husband, because we all can connect deeply.
Well, we were talking about that yesterday on the live stream. I said, if you want to really break out, you're one of those faceless channels. Just put your face on there. Be the first faceless face channel ever on the history of YouTube. It's the best way to do it. Put your faceless face on there, and then you got it.
Like, this is my faceless face. I am Dream. I want to see someone else do a Dream face reveal. It's like I identify as Dream. I'm Dream today. I want to be Dream. I believe that I am. I want that to happen.
Got a great question here. I'm an MMO creator. I am visually impaired and have MS. How do I bring the MS and blindness in without sounding, oh, poor me, and be uplifting like I want to be?
What's MMO?
Mud online, where you play these mud games online. Everyone knows this. Everyone's seen the mud games. Multiple men online. It's just a bunch of men online playing this game. Is what it is. Where's the I know it's multiple nerds online. I think it's what it's supposed to be. No, they misspelled it. It's multiple nerds online is what it is. There you go. You're welcome.
Massive multiplayer online.
So to address the actual
like
question,
Fortnite?
Yeah, no. Like World of Warcraft and stuff like that.
This is why I ask, because I don't know things.
So to actually address the question, I think it's about authenticity. As long as you're being authentic about how those things fit into how you play the game, I think you can do it without being like, well, it's me. It's just about being real and authentic with your audience. That's pretty much what it is.
I think I would also share what you do to make the game work for you in context. Like, hey, these are the things I do to make this experience work for me. I mess things up all the time when I read out loud. I'm dyslexic and ADHD, and I share that with my community just as a way of explanation. Like, hey, I'm going to pronounce things wrong. Thanks for understanding that I get letters inverted, and sometimes it's hard for me. And I'm just still me. So thanks for understanding and like not being a dick about it. But I will still see like, Emily, you've pronounced this wrong in the comments. And I'm like, yeah, I get it. But I share in way of like, this is what I'm working with and this is how I'm working with it. And I think, Tim, there's a lot of room to share. This is how I'm working with these games, being visually impaired, and probably tips and tricks for other players who might be intimidated from entering into that type of gaming environment, being visually impaired. So I say you share it authentically, and you share it with, this is how I make this experience the best for me. Because that would be really interesting, not just to me, but to others who either have friends that are visually impaired or are visually impaired themselves, to know kind of what your tips and tricks are. I think it's great.
Yeah, nothing wrong with being forward too and saying like if you feel like the community around you is giving this pity that you don't want, there's nothing wrong with being upfront and saying, I didn't create this channel for that reason. I'm here to uplift.
Yeah.
You know, and just communicate these things.
Right.
Just
breaking down those conversations can make things more accessible to others.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I want to answer this question from Chris Johnson real quick. He says, "Is it okay to change your channel banner to update it for specific holidays?" I would say if it jives with your channel and what you're trying to do with it, then sure. But if you're just doing it to be doing it, that would be kind of weird. But that's just my opinion.
I think that's of little consequence in the end. I mean, there'll be a subset of people that do check out your channel, and I think they're already on your channel, so they're not going to be confused. Oh, I'm in the wrong place, unless maybe it's dramatically different. But remember, your name is right under it. As long as you didn't change your name. Oh yeah, this is still them. I had a friend that did this. They were playing a specific game, and the game kind of featured seasons, and so they just changed the banner depending on what season of the game. It was really cool. So it could be a cool detail that you put in, but of little consequence, because the majority of viewers are going to be watching from different parts of YouTube. They're not going to be finding your videos necessarily from your channel page.
I don't think I've looked at my channel banner. Like it was like, oh, what's my channel banner? It's this. And it's stayed that way. I don't know how much your channel banner actually, it's for you to customize your channel and to identify your channel, but I don't think it drives a lot. I mean, I couldn't tell you the channels I watch the most. I couldn't tell you what their channel banners are. I have no idea. I know what I would recognize their icon in the chat, their face, but I have no idea what most channel banners look like. I pay no attention to it.
What kind of effect will premiering shorts have on your channel? I know the notifications show up for regular premieres, but what about shorts premieres?
There's no point in premiering a short. It's too short.
Mm-hmm. I love that you touched on that earlier too, because I hadn't considered the length until we really got into that discussion, but that would matter because the point of the premiere again is to have the chat and to communicate with those folks. And if people are watching, the max it could be is a minute long, right? So if you have people for an entire minute, there's not a lot of chat that can really happen in that time.
No.
It won't. I don't think it'll hurt anything. I think it'll just be at the end of the premiere, just another video on your channel.
I think it would go too fast for people to even, like, I would be annoyed if I sat through the 3-minute countdown for a premiere and it was a minute long. I'd be like, are you kidding me? What was I sitting here for? I would
in that way. Yeah.
Personally, yeah. I would be like, I waited for a premiere and now it's just like, what? But premieres really gain their most traction as you are live and the video is live, and they can go grab more viewers and bring them in to your video and say, hey, this video is live, because then it grows your chat and you'll see the tick up after like that 10 to 15 minute point. So with a short video, like even a video under 5 minutes, I wouldn't premiere, but I make long form content. So I don't think I've put a video up on my channel that's not a short that's under 15 minutes ever.
So Emily,
when I say long form, I mean my streams are 2 to 2.5 plus hours. My uploaded content is normally 30 to 45 minutes.
Gotcha. Before you to the type of question for Emily, so I've heard you talk about before when you live stream that you start immediately. You don't be like, well, let's wait for other people to come in. You start as soon as you go live. You start. So what are your thoughts on streamers that use like these countdown timers, like 2 minutes, 3 minutes before they go live? What are your thoughts about that?
So I used to have a countdown timer on my live. I don't anymore because the replay experience of that is not a lot of fun for the replay viewer to have to fast forward it or sit through it. And I found myself as a viewer bouncing off of videos instead of fast forwarding because I'm like, what's next? So I get right into it mostly for the replay crew. It doesn't mean I'm not late sometimes because facts, but I had the countdown timer when I first started doing live streams, and then I would go cut it out afterwards. But when you cut it out, you lose the chat. So if you cut any part of a video, you lose the live chat that people can watch along with. And a lot of people enjoy watching the live chat especially in my community, they want to see what the chat was during the video. So I found when I edited it out, then everybody was like, well, where'd the live chat go? Like, I want to see what everybody's talking about while I watch the video. It's part of the experience that you've created, Emily. So what are you doing? I'm like, okay, we're going to stop doing that. I go live and I am immediately into the video for replay. Then I give hellos. I give an intro to my video. This is what we're talking about today. This is what's going on. What's up? And then go into the video. I don't even play I don't play anything before I start talking. I start talking for at least a minute, if not more, before I even run my intro.
I think for me, this is all stuff like this whole stream is giving me all kinds of stuff I want to test. I want to test out premieres. I want to test out not having a startup timer because you have the startup timer in the YouTube scheduled live stream if you've scheduled your live stream. I would say if you didn't schedule your live stream, then maybe a few minutes to get people in the door would understand, or just don't be talking about anything. Like those initial people, don't let them miss anything. Just keep it really, really casual. And then when you see the numbers get to where they usually are at the beginning, then kind of maybe get into it.
Imagine waiting 3 minutes for a premiere and you're just sitting there waiting, you're anticipating, you get real excited, you get all lathered up. You're like, okay, here we go. And then boom, Dan's on your screen. You're like, jackpot. I got exactly what I waited 3 minutes for. It's Dan. Man, let me tell you, I can't get this Dan nowhere else. I'm so excited to get Dan on my screen. I waited 3 minutes for this. All right, Dan, show me something cool. And you premiere his latest Minecraft video where you don't even see his face because he's a faceless channel for no apparent reason. Like, wow, I hope this is a short because I'm ready to leave already. It's not a short. See, this is where a short would work out because they're trying to leave already. Like this Dan, he had a shorts channel. I can't take more than about 10, 15 seconds of him. My God. Whew, that's rough. I'm sorry, what were we talking about again?
We're talking about what happens if no one shows up for a premiere.
Oh my God. Tell him, Dan. Tell him all about it. You know how that works. Tell him.
Wow.
What happens, Dan? Tell us all.
Shots fired.
I've never had this happen before, so you gotta tell me what happens.
Savage being savage.
YouTube actually deleted my channel when that happened enough times. They got sick of me taking up
YouTube did something
bandwidth.
right.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Next question. What do you mean? Am I serious? What?
Right? You're joking, right?
Yes, of course I'm joking.
Good. I was like, wait, what? No, I have heard from so many creators about their channels being deleted with no explanation, deleted live in the middle of a live stream. Like, I don't know when people are serious anymore because it happens. I'm not like, wait, did that actually happen? Did I miss something?
That's true.
But I think at least you will be there in your premiere. I don't think it's a bad signal to YouTube. I think you should play with it for at least, 5 videos premiere, 5 videos not premiere, and see how they perform. YouTube is meant to be fun. I think overthinking YouTube can stress out a lot of creators. Play with it and see how it feels to you. Let your community know and try it. A lot of YouTube is trial and error, and it will continue to shift. But if you have even a little bit of a community, put on your community tab you're going to be doing it. Let them know when you're going to be doing it and premiere it. If 3 people show up, you get to chat with 3 people that like your videos, and that's amazing. So, yes.
All right. Getting some technical questions here. So we have this one from Flaming Shane. I make short and striking moment clips of video games. So I'm guessing they mean like montages, and they're trying to keep them high energy, things like that. I'm trying to target homepage traffic. So I'm getting 10% CTR and above 85% CTR, but I don't know what that. I'm guessing they meant retention. Flaming Shane, if you could rewrite your question, because I think it's now. I thought I understood it. Now I'm reading it again, and maybe I don't. You're saying the views are tanking though really early on, and if we are talking about shorts, that can happen. If we're talking about 85% retention on a short, for a short, that's actually pretty low. Or yeah, because you want to be closer to 100% if possible. Again, in my experience, but I'm not sure you're talking about retention. So if you could reword the question. All right.
Wait. What? All right, hold on, bro. Hold on. How did Travis lose the Indefensible so badly when he was winning like hands down? What is this? Like,
what happened?
What's going on around?
You getting the recount? What happened?
The law nerds were kind of waiting. They wanted Savage to
fake news. What happened? I will not concede. What's happening?
You got second. You got second place.
That's not good.
That is good.
Loser. What about you, Dan? What place you get?
Oh, I got way last.
All right, that makes sense. All right, look.
I think Viper got the votes for bringing the energy.
I don't know how I got the wait for not knowing the assignment, but oh well.
Brought the energy. And you know what, you guys? I think it's a valuable lesson. If you bring energy to your content, it's okay. Bring some energy, bring some passion. That's what matters most because it's enjoyable no matter what.
Oh yeah.
Lessons in all of it.
So it was 85% retention, and they're not shorts, but they're horizontal. So, but it would depend on the length of that video, I would still say. Like if you have a short video that's like 30 seconds long, still horizontal, not on the short shelf, 85% retention isn't where you want to be for like a 30-second video, for example. But there's a lot of factors that go into this. There's so many things. It might not even be, I'm trying to imagine why you would get, if you had a 10-minute video at 85% retention, but high click-through rate and people just bail, or YouTube isn't promoting it as much. Trying to think of all the factors that could go into that. It's difficult without looking at the.
I mean, how many of your family members clicked from that? I mean, how many of them were your aunts and uncles of those 30 views? Was that? Let's be honest. Did you put it on Facebook and you had all your friends and cousins and stuff click and watch it, and then they left, and you're like, well, why doesn't no one else watch it? Because it's a family video at that point. Let's just be honest about it, right?
I need clarification though. Dan said 85% retention is not where you want to be for a 30-second video. So what do you mean, Dan? What do you have to do at 100% retention? What's going on?
Well, we know from shorts that the ones that blow up a lot are the ones that go over 100% retention, meaning people are rewatching the video. So I have to imagine for a 30, there's about to be a cat fight in Emily's room now.
No, George just wants to get in there. George is like, hey, Fred, can I come lay down? No fights. They are twin. Well, not twins. They are brother ginger cats named Fred and George. So that's what we're doing at our house. He was just
ginger cats have souls because ginger humans don't. So I'm wondering, do cats that are gingers have souls?
Ginger cats absolutely have very sassy souls.
Oh, okay, all right.
They take after their namesakes. So
yeah, I have to imagine even a horizontal video, you would want higher retention than 85%. But just my opinion.
Just tell your mother and your cousin to watch more of your videos. That'll do it.
I wish I could help, but I don't pay attention. I look at watch time, and I really look at watch time versus retention, but I make really long form content. So I'm very interested in my watch time because when my watch time's 45 minutes, but if my live stream is 2 hours long, that's a high watch time, but a lower percentage. So I keep an eye on watch time based on length of video more than percentage of video. I think when you're looking at videos under 30 minutes, that might matter differently. But I also think people look for benchmarkers on YouTube. Like, is this good? Is this good? Is this good? I think you need to look at what's good for your channel, because with my watch time, I can look at my watch time and my audience and see that my ad rates are higher than a lot of channels. I mean, we're getting into that time of year, but my CPM hovers between $17 and like $22. And so with that watch time and with my audience, I'm not really bothered by the percentage because my CPM's high. So the money is there. And I know that my audience is enjoying what they're watching. I also use chapters, and I can see what chapters people are interested in. And as long as I've guessed right, I'm like, oh, they're skipping this and they're watching that. That's what I thought my audience would do. I know that I'm aligned with my audience, and that matters more. So I look at returning viewers, unique viewers, and then what else. Those are my big metrics. And then what else my channel's watching, because I want to know what topics my audience is into. And I can see, like, when I'm looking for this month, I can see the top channels my audience is watching. They are watching content on Britney Spears, on Gabby Petito, on Real Housewives, and then on H3. That's what my audience is watching right now. That's where their heads are at. So when I put content out that is in those spheres, that's what's on their mind right now. So I don't really worry about the percentages as much. Maybe I'm a weirdo, but I'm really community focused and making content that I have fun with. So the numbers aren't really what I like looking at how many impressions I get and where they're coming from. That's about it.
I'm sorry. I didn't want you too far away from that topic before.
Yep.
So the only thing I was going to say was that the other thing this could be, you touched on it, was the fact that people might not be interested in a certain topic. The ceiling for how successful a video can be from you, it might be low. There just might not be enough people to put that in front of. I've had that happen. I've been in gaming spaces where the game suddenly just kind of people lose interest in it, and I've changed nothing. My click-through rate's still very high, the retention's still very high, but the ceiling got lowered sometimes overnight. So school started for me on the channel I work on in free time, and everything went down, but a lot of the percentage metrics stayed the same, and you're kind of like, well, what's going on? Why are the views so low? And that's what can happen. So there's a lot of different factors.
To answer the question, no, I don't think YouTube will ever bring back direct messaging feature just because have you seen some of our comment section? Yeah, they're not doing that.
In my experience,
Twitter
abused. It was definitely abused. People would send spam all the time.
Yep.
Yeah. Use Twitter. That's why your Twitter name, your Twitter handle, and your channel should align. Because most of the creators I connect with, we connect on Twitter first. That's just where all the creators are. And
Twitter and country, baby.
Yeah, Twitter is where all the creators are, and you can access a lot of them. It's where I've connected for collaborations, and it's also where traditional media can reach out to me as a resource. So depending on the type of channel you're doing, brands reach out on Twitter, traditional media reach out on Twitter. Even if you hate Twitter, you kind of have to be there. Facebook, not as much, but Twitter is really where a lot of people connect first. We probably connected most on Twitter first. It's like, hey, you free here, you free there. Yeah, that's where it is.
Twitter, where it's at.
So
there you go. Round 2 of Defend the Indefensible. I hope everyone's ready.
We're gonna get messed up again by these law nerds over here, spiking the Kool-Aid, so to speak. That's all right.
This time I want to direct my question directly at Emily.
All right. Do you want to put it in? Do you want to put it in a private chat?
Yes, I will do that because I have beef.
You have beef?
Not with you, but I have beef with the situation.
Yeah, beef. Let's do that.
All right, we got our 30-second timer up.
I've got to think of one for Dan.
See, I was prepared today.
Yeah, you're the only one. We appreciate you.
There's one that's not going to get used because this is going to be our last round today. So I got to like do a coin toss here.
All right. It is in there.
Okay. All right. Oh, I see it. Okay, there it is. Let me go ahead and put the banner up. All right, Emily. Ready?
Sure.
Okay. How in the world can you defend Ron and Hermione ending up together in Harry Potter?
So I'm supposed to defend Ron and Hermione ending up together? Clearly, they were made for each other. Ron needs his Hermione. They are like, they're each other's swan. Hermione didn't want to be with anyone else, and their skill sets complement each other. Ron is kind of clueless, and that makes him a bit brave, but Hermione needs a man she can just tell what to do. Most men do better when they follow the instruction of a smart woman, and that allows Hermione to shine and Ron to be taken care of.
There you go.
Oh my God. Yo, the ending of that was perfect, but damn it, it's still wrong. It's absolutely wrong. There's no way they should end up together, but I won't start on this rant again. But man, all right, good. We calm down.
Who is Hermione supposed to end up with?
Harry. What do you mean, who?
No.
Yes.
No, because now they're all family because Harry's with Ginny. I love Harry and Ginny.
Oh, dear. Okay.
Look. Hermione and Harry would just bump heads. They are meant to be friends.
All right. I have one here.
At least you didn't ask me why Bella ended up with Edward. Like that's almost too indefensible for me.
I haven't seen that, so I can't comment on that.
You haven't seen Twilight?
No.
If you only just watched Harry Potter, I mean, give him a break.
I know you just saw Legally Blonde and Mean Girls as well.
Yeah.
So,
next time we should do on Wednesdays we wear pink. We'll get to it. Sorry.
I have one here for Savage.
Okay, good.
Are you ready?
Yeah, why not?
Cool, because I've put this in 4 times now and it won't take.
Oh my God.
There it goes.
It'll be a great question. I can't wait to see this.
All right, you ready?
Sure.
All right. Are you sure?
I mean, I guess.
The only videos worth watching on YouTube are kitten videos.
Facts.
Well, listen, by the way, the Savage Cat, you just saw the cat, Savage Cat, and the kittens are definitely the best. You know what's really terrible on YouTube? People, humans. I can't stand people and humans. People are really just ridiculous. You look at kittens and they just want to be loved and hugged and scratched and poop on your table and pretty much scratch your face up and then it's wonderful. I love that. I love how cats just don't care about you at all. It's really the best thing ever, and kittens really don't care about you. I love it. It's the best thing ever.
All right, well defended.
Hmm.
All right, well, you got one. Savage?
Humans are terrible, though. I'm not gonna lie. They're kind of bad.
Do you have one you want to throw in chat here?
Oh man, you gotta make me think about something. Hey, how about one of those ones you said you were gonna use that you run out of time for? Let's do that.
Well, mine are very specific for people.
Well, who is it specific to?
I had one for Viper.
Well, go ahead and give it to Viper then. That's mine for you, for him.
What? You're just going to cop out of doing the...
I'm going to jack one from you and give it to him. There you go. Look how that works.
That's not how this works.
Copy and paste.
Give it to Savage, and then Dan, I'll do one for you.
Oh my gosh. Go ahead and get it now. Put it on there for Viper. Put my name at the end. Say I came up with it.
I need Emily to defend condoning this behavior.
Listen. Is this the first time we've been on a live stream together?
I don't think Savage has never cheated on his homework before.
I mean, come on, man. Get with the program there, Dan.
Savage going to be Savage. This is part of it.
Seriously.
Like, look, man, give me your work.
Like my name is Nice or something. All right, here we go. Ready?
We're doing this.
I'm a Dr. Nice Guy. Yeah, come on, man.
You have to read it as if it came from you, all right?
All right. You want me to read it to him?
Yep.
It's too late to start a tech YouTube channel on YouTube.
Defend that position.
Yes. It's too late. Viper,
Vipe.
It's for you.
Oh, it's too late. It's for you.
Well, I mean, it's 2021. There's about 20 million tech YouTube channels. You got the Marquez and the Justines and the Rettingers, the Vipers, the Travises. I mean, where are you going to fit in? You just can't fit in. And you're darn sure not going to come in and copy in a Viper or a Travis or MKBHD. There's just no room. It's just oversaturated. There's no place for you people. You can't come in. The table's too crowded. You can't come in. Fall back and go to Twitter or TikTok. Go TikTok.
That's right. Go to TikTok.
Go TikTok.
Straight said you can't sit with us.
That was a great one. That's actually really good, Viper. I actually agree with you. Actually, I totally agree with you.
Well, I guess you can't use private chat, Emily. So
I can't. I'll just say it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't use the only chat.
We're going to go along the same theme. Dan, are you ready to defend the indefensible?
No.
Minecraft channels are oversaturated. You can only make gaming videos on Fortnite.
Oh my God.
Fortnite is where you want to be. And you know why? You know why Minecraft's saturated and Fortnite's not? Because nobody's playing Fortnite anymore, which is now it's your chance to get in there. All the big creators have exhausted all of their efforts in the Fortnite community, and now this is your time to strike when interest is low in both player and creator bases. So now you can go in there, and where you were getting tens of views, you might have 20s of views now, which would be just mind-blowing. Double your views? Come on.
Dan, that was great.
I actually agree with Dan. I mean, darn, he's some
everybody in the chat's like, I'm going to start a Fortnite channel. I'm ready.
Oh my God.
All right. So go ahead, place your votes.
Mm-hmm,
Who won that round to defend the indefensible? Wait, who should have Hermione chosen? That's the poll we're running right now?
No,
it ended.
Okay.
Harry 40%, Ron 35%, Luna
35% of you are wrong. Okay, you're all wrong.
I mean, between Ron and Luna, more people voted for someone that's not Harry than someone that is Harry. Harry didn't cross the 50% line. I'm not wrong.
All right.
Dan, do you have a bunch of your relatives in the chat right now?
Usually.
How are you getting votes? People voting for you?
When you go last, you do get quite a few more votes.
Is that what it is?
Going last does help.
Yeah, everyone's memory is just kind of short, I think.
Oh, I think so.
They're wanting to ask their questions, and we keep interrupting them.
Absolutely. We should get a few more questions before.
I mean, everyone's forgetting I was talking about cats. You should be voting for me just because I talked about cats. What's wrong with y'all?
Right.
Look at how
that's
cute
true.
they are. Look at my savage little beasts back there.
I know, right? Look at them with the kitty cats. All right.
Beast.
Start a YouTube
Hey,
channel.
all you cool cats and kittens. Did you guys see that Carol
I-
Baskin is suing Netflix to try to make sure that Tiger
I need
King
to
2
watch
doesn't
you talk
happen?
about that. I need to
Yeah.
watch you talk about that.
I
What do you
saw
think?
you covering that, and I'm like, I need to make a note to watch that.
I need to watch that. Tell me about it. Tell me what you think. What's going
The
on?
lawsuit is written like a complete PR fluff piece of how great Carol Baskin is. It is just her extolling her virtues
I love it.
and bashing Tiger King. But she includes a link to a 2-hour video where she plays all the hate voicemails she was left.
Oh my
It's
God.
the wildest thing I've ever seen in a lawsuit. And I'm like, wait, but the problem is the video includes everybody's phone numbers. So she pulls up like her iPhone with the phone numbers and plays the voicemails that she's left.
That's great.
The amount of people that called her to sing the Carol Baskin Killed Her Husband song to her is just it's a lot. So
Wow.
the
I'm
court denied
rewatching
her
that
quickly,
show.
but
I'm ready for season 2, so I'm rewatching the first season just because.
yes, I'm going to rewatch the first one too, but we'll see. Carol Baskin's trying to shut it down. She is not happy at all with this lawsuit.
But it's just because what? They showed her picture in the. So she's not going to be in this season? That's sad.
Well, she is going to be in this season, but they're using old footage from the first season.
Oh.
And she said that her appearance release does not cover the second season. This, by the way, relation to YouTube, when you have guests on your channel, you should have an appearance release understanding. So they can't just say, I never agreed to let that video stay up, take it down.
Oh.
Because people can. You need appearance releases for people. But Carol Baskin is saying her appearance release did not cover a sequel. And I think part of the argument is, well, they're not using new footage. They're
Right.
using the old footage, but sequel rights are an actual intellectual property right. So I think it'll be a very interesting case. But at the end of the day, it's probably going to, Tiger King 2 is going to air, and then they're going to fight it out over money and whether they have to pay her for that right. And she doesn't want to continue to be made out like she killed her husband and ground him up and fed him to tigers.
I mean,
Like
she
she's
might-
tired of that implication.
She might have, though.
Carol Baskin.
Is it worth making daily community posts? If you're asking me, then yes, absolutely, especially because you have a scheduling tool. It makes it really easy. I personally, I wouldn't post more than one a day, but I'm actually testing that right now because we've even done it at vidIQ. I think it's just they're going to compete for real estate a little bit. So yeah, I would say once a day though. I've had great results.
I forget.
That you forget. If you
Otherwise,
post-
I would post once a day.
Oh,
I should
okay.
schedule things out, but I forget to. I think it's always worth. Look, if the question is XYZ, my community, the answer is always yes. It's always worth talking to your community, and it's always worth talking to your community more.
Indeed.
Always.
Indeed.
Yeah, Dan, start talking to your community. What's wrong with you?
Community is the key. Look, even Facebook, the soulless, heartless black hole that it is, focuses on groups and community because that's what keeps people on the platform. People will stay on a live stream longer if they're chatting with other people in your community. Community is what brings people to your channel. Yes, it's partly the creator, but it's also partly the community. There are creators who I enjoy watching. I don't enjoy being in the chat with their community, so I don't chat and engage because I'm like, oh, this isn't for me. But I like watching that creator. Having a community that people enjoy holds people not just on your content longer, but on platform longer. And if they're on platform longer, then YouTube's like, oh, maybe more people should see your videos, so they stay.
Results from Defend the Indefensible. Emily won with 43%. I got second this time with 21%. Viper got 19%. And then Savage got last at 16%.
Listen, we know this is just fake news. There's nothing about this is real anymore. I don't believe any of this. You got bots in there voting and stuff. It's just ridiculous.
They're Russian bots. They're Russian bots. that are
Man,
in there
like, how
voting.
can you feel good about these polls, man? Obviously, they jacked up.
Well, only half the viewers have voted, so you still have time to campaign here.
Yeah, well, what the heck, man? Let's get on this. What are we doing?
You just called them bots. I think they should take
call the
votes
bots
away.
bots. I don't know about the rest of them. The rest of them are real.
Oh God.
I liked Calvin's question. How do you engage and build community if you don't have a community tab yet? In your videos, in your comment sections, and on your other social medias would be my top 3.
Boom.
Tell your people, hey, in your video, you can say, what do you think of this or this? Let me know down below. And then you go down below and talk. to them.
Yep. Comments are a fantastic place to carry on those discussions.
I used to answer every single comment on my channel.
Oh my God.
I cannot anymore. But it was as I was growing my channel, I wanted to see what people were saying and I wanted to engage.
Yeah. What do you think that was?
Of course you was. I'm gonna put yes on there. Hold on. Yes. Yes. Oh, it's 50-50 now.
Ooh, it's running 50-50.
Oh God.
Hey, listen.
On that note, people, we have reached our 2-hour time limit. We want to thank all of y'all for coming to join us today. Thank you. And thank you to Emily for being our guest on the live stream. Always a pleasure talking to you. Shout out to Dan and Travis for holding it down as usual. We will be back. Actually, I was going to say we will be back next Tuesday, but we will be back before next Tuesday because I think we're going to hit 1 million before then. So we will be back sooner. We don't know exactly what the plan is yet, but at some point when we get close to or maybe sometime after we hit 9999, we're going to be live streaming in person. Like probably a lot of the vidIQ people that you probably have never even seen on the live stream before, they're going to be making an appearance. We're celebrating this, but it's a community celebration. It's not just about vidIQ. It's about all of us coming together to make this channel and this product what it is. So we definitely want to thank all of you all. But yeah, we'll be back before next Tuesday because that's going to happen before then. But yeah, thank you guys for being here today. Appreciate you all. And we will catch you all at that moment. Get a little closer.
I want to thank everyone who voted for me. Everyone who didn't thank for me, no thank you. Go away. I don't like you.
Oh, too funny.
We got to close this latest poll.
51 votes. What's going on here?
52 votes. You guys vote. Vote.
You can't leave. It's in my contract. But yes.
Wow.
Y'all need to hurry up though, because I gotta watch some old episodes of Catfish. I love that show. That's a good show.
Oh, Lord.
Catfish.
Well, so far it's 55% said no.
Well, fake news. All right, let's go.
All right. See you guys later.
Bye, everybody. This is my favorite part of the stream.
I like this part too.
More incognito.
Do you like our new logo? Do you like our new logo?
I do. I love the new logo.
I do too.
I like it.
Why aren't we voting on the new logo?
I don't know, because it's done.
All right. See you, everybody.
Bye.